After this announcement, I'm starting adrenergic drugs. So before that, I would like to tell you general aspects. I have already taught you general aspects in the first lecture, I know, but I will in the first 5 minutes, I will brush up those concepts, revise you those concepts, and then you will have a better understanding for adrenergic drugs. I will teach you neurotransmitter also, noradrenaline, how it is formed, how it is synthesized, how it is stored, how it is released, how it is destroyed, or how uptake takes place. So after that, I will start the classification of the drugs. I will not directly jump on the classification. You will have a better understanding if I teach you this way. Believe me. Let me start it. Let's see. So I'm starting with adrenergic drugs. You know, in central nervous system, in nervous system, we have two types of nervous system: CNS, central nervous system, and PNS, peripheral nervous system. What do you mean by both? What do you mean by both? So in central nervous system, we have brain and spinal cord. Can you see? This is the brain and this is the spinal cord. So this brain and spinal cord constitutes CNS, central nervous system, and the nerves arising from it constitute the PNS. So nerves arise from brain also, and nerves arise from spinal cord also. How many nerves? How many nerves? So the nerves which are arising from brain are known as cranial nerves. How many cranial nerves do you know? There are 12 cranial nerves. And the nerves which are arising from spinal cord are known as spinal nerves. How many spinal nerves you know? There are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. So we have 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 31 pairs. It is pairs, huh? 31 pairs. So it is like this. You can see the 12 pairs of cranial nerves marked by red color. You can see 31 pairs of spinal nerve marked by blue color. You know the names of cranial nerves. I'm not enumerating again. From nerve number 1 till 12, you already 7 number is facial. You know the names. Yes, 31 pairs of spinal nerve. The first 8 are cervical. Then the next 12 are thoracic or dorsal. One and the same thing. The next 5 are lumbar. Next 5 are sacral. And the last is coccygeal. Just add them. You will get the figure 31. So this is the distribution of 31 pairs of spinal nerve. You should know it. Now the nerves are of two types. The nerves are of two types. Those who carry signal from organ towards CNS. These are known as sensory. Look at the arrow. Sensory nerves. So from organ to nervous system, to central nervous system. From organ to central nervous system. These are sensory or afferent. And the nerves which carry signal away from central nervous system. That is from central nervous system towards the organ. These are known as motor nerves. We already know it. Motor nerves are also known as efferent nerve. Now, I'm concerned with motor nerves. Motor nerves are of two types. What are the two types of motor nerves? You can see here. Look at the arrow. Look at the arrow. In all of them, the arrow is same. So, the signal is from CNS towards the organ. Depending what is the organ, depending on the organ, motor nerves are of two types. Motor nerves are of two types, or efferent nerves are of two types. You know, motor and efferent is one and the same thing. So what are the two types? The two types are somatic and autonomic. Autonomic is ANS, that is my chapter. One of the chapter of autonomic is adrenergic. Why I am teaching you the whole story again? There is a reason behind it. Give me one more minute. So you can see if the nerve is supplying to a voluntary muscle, that is skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle is a voluntary muscle. It is known as somatic. And if the nerve is supplying some smooth muscle, you know smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is involuntary muscle. You can see smooth muscle here. You can see smooth muscle here. So it is an involuntary muscle. If the nerve is supplying to involuntary muscle or smooth muscle, it is known as autonomic. So two types of nerves are there. Done. Two types of nerves are there. You can see in the somatic only one nerve is there. So the nerve is the axon of a neuron. So you can see cell body is in the CNS. This is the cell body and this is the axon. So only one axon, one nerve is there. So starting from CNS, ending in the organ. But in autonomic nervous system, you can see two nerves. So this is the first cell body. This is the first nerve. This is a junction. The junction is known as synapse. Synapse or ganglion. Ganglion. One and the same thing. This is the second cell body and this is the second nerve. So the first nerve is known as preganglionic and the second nerve is known as postganglionic. So pre and postganglion. Two nerves are there. Done. Now see, the ganglion is not at the center. If the ganglion is towards the organ, you can see preganglion is larger than postganglion. Measure the length. Measure the length. You can see preganglion is larger than the postganglion. In the second scenario, the ganglion is towards CNS. It is towards CNS. So you can see here postganglion is larger than preganglion. So two type of ANS, parasympathetic and sympathetic. In parasympathetic, preganglion is larger than postganglion. In sympathetic, postganglion is larger than preganglion. We already know the whole story. I have repeated it just to brush up your concepts. One more thing I would like to tell you before starting adrenergic drugs here. That is about neurotransmitters. That is about neurotransmitters. Let me tell you, it is clearly visible in the diagram. If you talk about somatic system, only one nerve, so one neurotransmitter. It is acetylcholine. So acetylcholine is secreted at the skeletal muscle, and it will bind with nicotinic receptors present there and contract the muscle. It will show contraction in the muscle. So neurotransmitter here is acetylcholine. But if you talk about ANS, so two nerves are there: preganglion, postganglion, preganglion, postganglion. So two neurotransmitters are there. So if you talk about preganglionic as a neurotransmitter, so preganglionic is always acetylcholine. You can see here also, here also. So in sympathetic and as well as in parasympathetic, in both of them, preganglionic neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. What about postganglionic neurotransmitter? Postganglionic neurotransmitter is different in them. If you talk about parasympathetic, the postganglion again acetylcholine. So in parasympathetic, preganglion as well as postganglion, both the neurotransmitters are acetylcholine. That's why it is known as cholinergic system. So we have already covered cholinergic system in the last two chapters, cholinergic and anticholinergic drugs. Done. So both, because here the last neurotransmitter, the neurotransmitter at the effector organ is acetylcholine. That's why the other name of this parasympathetic system is cholinergic. What about sympathetic system? Here preganglionic neurotransmitter is acetylcholine only. I agree. But what about the postganglionic neurotransmitter or the neurotransmitter at the effector organ? It is not acetylcholine, it is noradrenaline. Noradrenaline is the main neurotransmitter here. That's why sympathetic system is known as adrenergic system. So my chapter for you today is adrenergic system. Give me a thumbs up. So this is the whole story. I have told you in somatic system only one neurotransmitter, acetylcholine. Now there are two, sympathetic and parasympathetic. In both of them, the preganglionic is again acetylcholine, but the postganglionic is different in each of them. In parasympathetic, the postganglion is also acetylcholine. In sympathetic, mainly it is noradrenaline, but sometimes it is adrenaline, dopamine, and rarely it is acetylcholine also. So mainly it is noradrenaline. This is the whole story. I hope you got it. Give me a thumbs up if you are getting it. That is the reason why parasympathetic system is known as cholinergic and why sympathetic system is known as adrenergic. Because the neurotransmitter at the effector organ here is acetylcholine in parasympathetic, and here it is noradrenaline in sympathetic. That's why cholinergic system, and that's why adrenergic system. Again, give me a thumbs up. Done. So cholinergic system we have already done. I have to start today adrenergic and anti-adrenergic system. So in adrenergic and anti-adrenergic system, main neurotransmitter is noradrenaline. So before starting the two chapters, adrenergic and anti-adrenergic, I would like to tell you how this noradrenaline is synthesized, how it is stored, and how its action is terminated. So after these things only I can start the chapter. So you will have a better understanding of the mechanism of action of various drugs present in this category, that is adrenergic drugs and anti-adrenergic drugs, that is alpha and beta agonist and alpha and beta blockers. I will come on that. Noradrenaline. Before that, I will just revise you how acetylcholine is synthesized, how it is stored, and how it is destroyed, how its action is terminated. So you will compare it with noradrenaline, which I will teach you. A cholinergic system, acetylcholine, I know I have already taught you, but just in 2 minutes I will revise it so that you will have a better understanding of it. Done. Okay, so you can see here, this is parasympathetic system. You see, this is parasympathetic. See the postganglionic nerve fiber. So inside the axon of this postganglionic nerve fiber, here acetylcholine is synthesized and it is stored in the form of the vesicle. You can see here. Can you see the green colored? Here I am marking it for you. So here acetylcholine is synthesized and it will be stored there only in the form of synaptic vesicles. And when nerve of depolarization is coming from the brain here, when nerve of depolarization will travel here, at that time this acetylcholine is secreted out and it will bind with its receptor present on the organs. Done. So how it is synthesized? So let me zoom out this portion for you. Let me zoom out this portion for you. So this is the portion I am zooming out for you. You can see this is the portion. I have zoomed out this portion for you. So first a amino acid known as choline, it will go inside the neuron. Choline will go inside. Choline will get converted into acetylcholine, and acetylcholine is formed in the cytoplasm or exoplasm. Then it will enter inside a synaptic vesicle and it will be stored there only. When nerve of depolarization is coming, it will be secreted out and it will bind with the nicotinic and muscarinic receptor present on the organ. This is the organ, involuntary smooth muscle. So this is the whole scenario shown here in the diagram. So it is formed in the exoplasm and stored in the form of synaptic vesicle. It is formed from an amino acid known as choline. So choline is going inside and doing all the thing. So how it is synthesized, how it is released, and how it is destroyed now. So once choline is going inside, it is getting converted into acetylcholine. It is stored there in the synaptic vesicle in acetylcholine, in the form of acetylcholine, and then when wave of depolarization is coming, at that time it is secreted, binding with nicotinic and muscarinic receptor, showing its action. But once it has completed its action, it has to be destroyed. Its action has to be terminated. It is not the thing ki acetylcholine released one, it will show its action forever. If it is hard, so acetylcholine will decrease the heart rate, decrease the force of contraction, decrease the velocity of conduction. After doing all these things, its action has to be terminated. Done. So how its action? Now this is a very important point which differentiate acetylcholine from noradrenaline. Just after this, I will tell you how noradrenaline is synthesized. यहाँ पे पहला अमीनो एसिड कोलिन है, कोलिन में से it is synthesized. वहां पे पहला अमीनो एसिड टायरोसिन आएगा. From tyrosine noradrenaline is synthesized. Here destruction कैसे हो रहा है? यहाँ पे how it is destroyed? It is destroyed via a enzyme. The name of the enzyme is acetylcholine esterase, which will do the esterification and acetylcholine esterase, which will do the hydrolysis of acetylcholine. So this acetylcholine is destroyed by an enzyme known as acetylcholine esterase. वहां पे noradrenaline is not destroyed. There is no enzyme present for destruction of noradrenaline. Noradrenaline का reuptake होता है. I will tell you. That's why I have revised this so that you will have a better understanding. So you can see this is acetylcholine secreted here. After it will show its action binding with the receptor. Here is the enzyme. So the name of the enzyme is acetylcholine esterase. It will do the hydrolysis of acetylcholine and acetylcholine is destroyed. And there are two type of receptors, muscarinic and nicotinic. Let me start my chapter today. So that was an overview, the revision of the past lectures, past 3 lectures. So you will have a better understanding of this chapter now. Now you will do the comparison of noradrenaline here with acetylcholine in the previous chapter. So in cholinergic drugs and anticholinergic drugs, the main neurotransmitter was acetylcholine and the mechanism of action of all the drugs were based on acetylcholine only. Now I am starting adrenergic drugs, and after adrenergic drugs I will teach you anti-adrenergic drugs. So here all the drugs mechanism will based on noradrenaline. So you will have a better understanding. So first I will teach you about noradrenaline. So how noradrenaline is synthesized? So now we have two types of system we have discussed. So one system which is activated in relaxed state. Currently I am teaching you. You are listening my lecture. So we all are relaxed. There is no emergency. So currently inside all of us, our parasympathetic system is stimulated in all the organs. In all the organs, parasympathetic system is stimulated. But imagine a situation, there is a lion in front of me. There is a tiger in front of me. I have to save my life. My life is in danger. At that time, what will happen? What will happen inside all of my organs? Sympathetic system will get stimulated. So sympathetic system is emergency system. So I'm starting with adrenergic drugs. So emergency drugs are there. So I'm starting with the system. There are 3 types of biological sympathetic substances. The main is noradrenaline. Sometimes it is adrenaline only in medulla, adrenal medulla. You know, we have adrenal gland over the kidney. We have a pair of kidney. Just above it, there is a gland known as adrenal gland. Inside the adrenal gland, there is cortex, there is medulla. So inside the medulla, it is adrenaline, which is the neurotransmitter there. And dopamine in the basal ganglion of the brain, dopamine. So we have 3 types of sympathetic substance. Mainly it is noradrenaline. I have taught you noradrenaline. Sometimes it is adrenaline in medulla and it is dopamine in the basal ganglion. You have to learn these are the 3. So here you can see it is the noradrenaline. Noradrenaline. Can you see? So here how this noradrenaline is synthesized? This is preganglionic nerve fiber and this is postganglionic nerve fiber. So inside postganglionic nerve fiber, this noradrenaline is synthesized here and it is secreted here when nerve of depolarization will come. So how it is synthesized and stored in synaptic vesicle? So tell me 3 things. How it is synthesized, how it is stored, and how it is released, and how its action is terminated, and compare it with that of acetylcholine. The 4 things with that of acetylcholine, we have just revised acetylcholine before that. So I will teach you first how noradrenaline is synthesized here in the postganglionic nerve fiber, how it is stored here, how it is released when wave of depolarization is arising from the brain and coming here, and after binding with its receptor. Here receptor is not muscarinic nicotinic. Here receptor is alpha and beta. So noradrenaline will bind with alpha receptor and beta receptor. After showing its action has to be terminated. So how its action is terminated, and compare the 4 things with that of acetylcholine. Okay, I will tell you all these things one by one. So let me tell you first synthesis, then storage, then release, then action termination. So synthesis, how it is synthesized. So let me zoom out this portion for you. So it is synthesized in this axon. It is a postganglionic nerve fiber. Postganglionic nerve. So postganglionic nerve fiber ka this is the cell body and this is the axon. So in the terminal portion of the axon. So can you see this is the axon? Let me draw axon for you. So you should have an understanding ki diagram hai kiska. Most of the students even don't understand the diagram is typically from KDT. Most of the students even don't understand ki diagram kis cheez ka hai. So this is the diagram of this portion. This portion is highlighted, the end of a post-ganglionic nerve fiber of sympathetic system. So here we have to synthesize noradrenaline. So noradrenaline is synthesized from an amino acid known as phenylamine. Phenylamine. First phenylamine get converted into tyrosine in the liver. So first step is taking place inside the liver. Then this tyrosine, can you see? This is the tyrosine here. See, this will enter inside the nerve ending and get converted into noradrenaline later on. So starting amino acid, you can say it is tyrosine if you talk about nerve, or if you talk in the body, whole human body, it is the phenylamine. So whatever phenylamine is present inside my blood, the phenylamine inside my blood, it will go in my liver. In the liver, this phenylamine liver convert phenylamine to tyrosine. After that, tyrosine will be released in the blood. From the blood, this tyrosine will enter in the neurons, adrenergic postganglionic neurons. You can see via a transporter. It is going inside. After going inside tyrosine, the first step, it is getting converted into dopa. It is taking place in the cytoplasm of the nerve ending, cytoplasm or exoplasm, whatever you say. So it is a nerve ending, na? इसके अंदर cytoplasm है. So inside the cytoplasm, it is taking place. So tyrosine getting converted into dopa, dopa getting converted into dopamine. So the two steps are taking place in the cytoplasm. Dopamine once formed, it will enter inside the synaptic vesicle. Can you see? Here is the synaptic vesicle. Let me mark with a different color. Okay, so this one, black one, this is the synaptic vesicle. So dopamine will enter in the synaptic vesicle. After entering inside, it will get converted into noradrenaline. So ultimately noradrenaline is formed, but last step do not take place in cytoplasm or exoplasm. The last step take place in synaptic vesicle. So this is noradrenaline formed. So if it is a nerve ending, this is over. So noradrenaline कैसे बना? ये हमने देख लिया. It is formed in this way. Noradrenaline is formed. But if it is an adrenal medulla, one more step, noradrenaline will get converted into adrenaline if it is medulla. If it is not medulla, no further transmission takes place. So you can see the first thing is phenylalanine. Phenylalanine gets converted into tyrosine, and this step takes place in liver. Then tyrosine will get converted into dopa, and dopa will get converted into dopamine. This tyrosine is entering in the nerve ending, and these two steps are taking place in the cytoplasm. These two steps are taking place in the cytoplasm. Then this dopamine is entering in the synaptic vesicle and getting converted into noradrenaline. This step is taking place in the synaptic vesicle. And noradrenaline will be placed in synaptic vesicle only. And if it is adrenal medulla, then noradrenaline get converted into adrenaline if it is adrenal medulla. So this is the whole story you should understand. Have you got it? Have you got it? Give me a thumbs up if you got it. It was difficult. I tried my best. One more thing you have to learn. So what is the sequence? Phenylalanine getting converted to tyrosine. It is getting converted to dopa. It is getting converted to dopamine. And it is getting converted to noradrenaline. And it is getting converted to adrenaline. So these are the whole steps. One more thing which you have to learn here is the first step is hydroxylation, then decarboxylation, then again hydroxylation, then methyl transferase. So this is hydroxylation. This is decarboxylation. This is again hydroxylation, and this is methyl transferase. So many MCQs come on it, which enzyme is responsible for it. So this is the whole story. Phenylalanine getting converted into tyrosine. Tyrosine getting converted into dopa. Dopa getting converted into dopamine. The first step, phenylalanine to tyrosine, it is taking place in liver. The second and third step, tyrosine to dopa and dopa to dopamine. The next two steps taking place in the neuron ka cytoplasm, axonal cytoplasm. Done. The next step, dopamine to noradrenaline taking place in the synaptic vesicles, that is the granules. And the last step, noradrenaline to adrenaline takes place only in medulla, adrenal medulla, nowhere else. You should learn the enzymes also. The first enzyme is hydroxylase, then hydroxylase, then decarboxylase, then again hydroxylase, then methyl transferase. So 5 reactions, 5 enzymes, and 5 one by one you have to learn the products. So 5 reactions, 5 enzymes, and their sites also. What is their sites? So many MCQs and clues can be framed from it. In your questions, I will give you clinical questions also to solve it. One more thing, out of these 5, the rate limiting step is this one. This one is the rate limiting. So tyrosine to dopa, that is the second step. So tyrosine to dopa conversion is the rate limiting step, and it is inhibited by a poison known as metyrosine. Again, a very important MCQ. So that is the thing. So how it is stored and it is released? So it is stored here. It is stored here in the form of synaptic vesicle, and once wave of depolarization is coming, It will come here, it will fuse, and it will come out, and it will bind with alpha and beta receptor present on the organ. This is the affected organ. So this is the whole story. This is the whole story. So can you see? Now very important diagram. Please everyone look here. So can you see? This is the neuron. This is the nerve ending. I'm marking with blue. This is the nerve ending. Let me tell you the whole story again. So can you see? This is the tyrosine entering inside. So tyrosine getting converted into dopa, dopa getting converted into dopamine, dopamine entering in the synaptic vesicle, and dopamine getting converted into noradrenaline. And noradrenaline is fusing, synaptic vesicle is fusing when wave of depolarization is coming from the brain. Noradrenaline is coming out. After coming out, it is binding with the alpha receptor and it is binding with the beta receptor. So whole story is in front of you. Why I have taught you the whole story again? I will tell you the name of various poisons. Which poison is blocking which step, you have to learn it. So the main rate limiting step is the first step, that is tyrosine to dopa conversion. This is rate limiting step and it is blocked by a poison, by a toxin known as metyrosine. So metyrosine inhibits tyrosine to dopa conversion. Tyrosine to dopa is blocked by metyrosine. Number one. Second poison or toxin is carbidopa. It will inhibit dopa to dopamine. So dopa to dopamine conversion is blocked by this poison. So this conversion is blocked by carbidopa. So metyrosine कौन सा step block कर रहा है, carbidopa कौन सा step block कर रहा है, you have to learn it. After that it will go in the synaptic vesicle, it will come out here, then बाकी के तीन poisons मैं बाद में बताती हूँ. Let me move ahead. So let me tell you the uptake now. Let me tell you the uptake now. What do you mean by uptake? So this is the noradrenaline secreted here. You know the story, how it is formed, how it is stored, how it is released outside when wave of depolarization is coming. After coming out, it is binding to alpha and beta receptor. It has shown its action. Just suppose this organ is heart. So if this organ is heart, noradrenaline has increased the rate, increased the force of contraction, increased the velocity of conduction. It has already shown its action. Now its action has to be terminated. It is not the way that one molecule of noradrenaline will show its action forever. So now its action has to be terminated. How its action will be terminated? How its action? How the action of acetylcholine was terminated there? How? Anyone of you among the audience? If instead of noradrenaline it is acetylcholine, how after it will bind with muscarinic and nicotinic receptor? So how its action was terminated there? It was terminated with the help of an enzyme. The name of the enzyme was acetylcholine esterase. Here no enzyme is present. Action is terminated by reuptake of noradrenaline. So this noradrenaline will go inside the neuron again. So there is reuptake. So there are two mechanisms. The main mechanism is this. So this is known as uptake 1. So first noradrenaline will go in the cytoplasm. After coming in the cytoplasm, it will move inside the synaptic vesicle. So there are two pumps required. The first pump is NET. You can see NET will take noradrenaline from outside into the cytoplasm or exoplasm, and the second pump is vesicular pump, that is VMAT. It will take noradrenaline from the cytoplasm or exoplasm into the synaptic vesicle. So that is the whole story. So that is the first mechanism. So what is the first mechanism? That is uptake 1. First, axonal uptake. Axonal uptake by taken place by a pump known as NET. Can you see NET here? Can you see NET here? What this NET is doing? It is taking noradrenaline from outside into the cytoplasm, and this pump is inhibited by a poison known as cocaine. So cocaine inhibits this pump. So cocaine is used as a drug abuse. You may see many youngsters take cocaine just for gratification. So what this cocaine is doing? Cocaine is inhibiting this pump inside their all neurons on the body. So the noradrenaline which is secreted out will remain here only. Its action is not terminated. It will bind with alpha and beta receptor for a longer duration, because the pump which takes its uptake is blocked by the cocaine. So they will have the emergency situation for a longer time. So this emergency situation where our heartbeat increases, we have sweating, and we have various things. So all those components will lie in their body, will retain in their body for a longer time, and this gives a pleasurable feeling to them. So that is why cocaine is used as a drug abuse. Have you got it? So this NET is blocked by cocaine. The second pump you can see here is VMAT. The full form of VMAT is vesicular monoamine transporter, VMAT. This one. So can you see this noradrenaline will move inside the vesicle with the help of another pump, VMAT. This VMAT is blocked by another poison known as reserpine. Reserpine blocks this. So reserpine is the poison which blocks this. So till now, how many poisons you know? You know metyrosine. This one is the metyrosine. You know carbidopa. This one is the carbidopa. You know cocaine. This one is the cocaine. You know reserpine. And I will tell you one more last one, that is steroids. Guanidine and steroids. One more. Okay, listen. The second uptake is uptake number 2, that is extraneuronal uptake. What do you mean by that? So 90% of the noradrenaline is terminated by this way. What way? That is reuptake. So reuptake takes place first in the exoplasm, and after going in the exoplasm, the reuptake will take place into the vesicle. So ultimately, all the noradrenaline coming here, it will be reutilized and it will be secreted in the next cycle. So this is the way. 90% is terminated. But what about remaining 10%? So remaining 10% will move in the blood. It will go in the blood vessel. Let me draw a blood vessel here. This is a blood vessel. And after going in the blood vessel, it will be metabolized. So that is known as extra axonal uptake. So it will be uptake at the blood vessel. So these are the two mechanisms. Main mechanism is neuronal uptake. Second is extraneuronal uptake. So whatever uptake it is, okay, let me draw a blood vessel again here. This is the blood vessel, you can see. So you can see here this noradrenaline is going inside the blood vessel, number one, or it is going inside the exoplasm. After going in the exoplasm, it will move in the synaptic vesicle, and some remain in the exoplasm only. So the one which is present in the exoplasm here and the one which is present in the blood here, it is metabolized. It is metabolized. It is metabolized. It is metabolized by two enzymes. The name of the two enzymes are MAO and COMT. What is full form of MAO and COMT? So monoamine oxidase, it is an enzyme, and COMT, catechol O methyl transferase. Catechol O methyl transferase, it is also an enzyme. So this enzyme is acting here in the cytoplasm also. These two enzymes are present. In the blood also these two enzymes are present. Now it is the only thing, either MAO is followed by COMT or COMT is followed by MAO. But these two enzymes act in substitution, one by another, one after another, and ultimately all noradrenaline gets converted into VMA. Vinyl mandelic acid is the last product. So pehle MAO add kare, so this is the whole story. So this is noradrenaline. This noradrenaline present either in the cytoplasm or present in the blood. So two enzymes will act on it. So either it is MAO, first act MAO, then COMT, or it is first COMT, or it is followed by MAO. So whatever sequence you take place, ultimate product formed in both these scenarios is vinyl mandelic acid. So that is the summary. I tried my best to simplify it. The whole theory is from KDT only. So that is the various poisons I will summarize, and then I will come on the drugs, the classification of the drugs, I guess, after that. Okay, I will start the chapter. So let me summarize the poisons one again. So many important questions come from this poison. You can see this is the nerve ending. Everyone see, this is the nerve ending here. You can see. This is the nerve ending. So tell me the whole story. Now you know the whole story. Who will tell me the whole story? So this is tyrosine amino acid which is going inside. Tyrosine. Tyrosine getting converted into dopa, the first step. Dopa getting converted into dopamine, the second step. Dopamine is going inside the synaptic vesicle, and after going inside the synaptic vesicle, dopamine getting converted into noradrenaline, the third step. Noradrenaline, this synaptic vesicle is fusing with the axonal membrane, and noradrenaline is coming out after fusion. After fusion, when nerve of depolarization, wave of depolarization is coming. So this noradrenaline is coming out. After coming out, it is binding with its receptor alpha and beta. Alpha and beta. The fifth step, it is binding. After that, its reuptake take place. So this is NET pump. NET. So reuptake takes place in the cytoplasm, and after that reuptake takes place in the synaptic vesicle by another pump, VMAT. So that is the whole story. Now let me tell you the various poisons. Okay, let me finish it. Let me summarize it. Let me tell you the various poisons here. Okay, the first poison is metyrosine, which inhibit this conversion, tyrosine to dopa. Tyrosine to dopa. So tyrosine to dopa is inhibited. That is the rate limiting step in the whole process. So that is metyrosine. The second poison here is carbidopa. Carbidopa inhibit the second step, dopa to dopamine. So dopa to dopamine get inhibited by carbidopa. So two poisons, tyrosine to dopa and dopa to dopamine. Tyrosine to dopa by metyrosine and dopa to dopamine by carbidopa. So two poisons to यहाँ पे हो गए. Let me move further. Let me move further. Just give me 1 second. So it is going inside the synaptic vesicle. Dopamine getting converted into noradrenaline. Noradrenaline, when wave of depolarization is coming, at that time, this synaptic vesicle is showing fusion and noradrenaline is coming out. So this fusion wala step is inhibited by guanidine and beryllium. So this inhibits the fusion. These two poisons are inhibiting the fusion. So release release is not taking place. Noradrenaline is present inside the synaptic vesicle in the axon, but its release is inhibited. Its fusion, the fusion of the synaptic vesicle with the axonal membrane is inhibited by guanethidine and beryllium. So these two are inhibiting that. After that, noradrenaline ka uptake. So the first uptake is by NET from the outside into the cytoplasm, that is inhibited by cocaine or TCA, tricyclic antidepressants. So that is cocaine is doing the first uptake inhibitor. The second uptake inhibitor, that is from the exoplasm or cytoplasm into the synaptic vesicle, that is VMAT. VMAT is inhibited by reserpine. So reserpine is inhibiting. So I have told you the name of 5 poisons, 5 different steps. So what is inhibiting the rate limiting step? The second step, what is inhibiting the fusion wala step, release wala step? What is inhibiting uptake 1? What is inhibiting uptake 2? So what is inhibiting NET pump? What is inhibiting VMAT pump? So many good questions can be framed from this slide. This slide is going to be a master slide. Many new MCQs can be framed from it. Give me a thumbs up, those who are listening. Give me a thumbs up. Let me see if I can see your chat. Okay. I wish I can see. Yes. Yes, I can see your chat. Give me a thumbs up if you got it. Okay, I got it. I got it. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, okay. And here, so guanethidine, what guanethidine was doing? It is inhibiting the release. Guanethidine is inhibiting the release. It is inhibiting the fusion. So guanethidine is used for chemical sympathectomy. So when we want to do sympathectomy in animals, mouse or rabbit, then we do not cut it with scissor. That sympathetic nerves are not cut with scissor. We can inhibit the release of noradrenaline or fusion of noradrenaline via a chemical known as guanethidine. So guanethidine is used for artificial or chemical sympathectomy in experimental animals. Now compare the both. Now compare the two diagrams. Very beautifully depicted diagram. Compare this diagram, this one of acetylcholine with this one of noradrenaline. Let me compare, let me help you in comparison. Here the first amino acid was choline. Here the first amino acid is tyrosine, or tyrosine se bhi pehle phenylephrine, which is getting converted in tyrosine in liver. So this is the first amino acid. After that, here choline get converted into acetylcholine, and acetylcholine is stored in the synaptic vesicle. Here tyrosine get converted into dopa, dopa get converted into dopamine, dopamine will enter in the synaptic vesicle and getting converted into noradrenaline. When wave of depolarization is coming, here acetylcholine will come out. When wave of depolarization is coming, here noradrenaline will come out. Done. After that, it will bind with its muscarinic or nicotinic receptor, acetylcholine. Here, noradrenaline will bind with alpha and beta receptors. Done. So receptors are different. After that, the destruction will take place by different process. So here, the destruction of acetylcholine is by an enzyme. The name of the enzyme is acetylcholine esterase. It will destroy, it will do the hydrolysis or destruction of this acetylcholine. Here, noradrenaline ke liye there is no enzyme. There is no enzyme. Its action is terminated by reuptake. So reuptake 1 in the cytoplasm by NET pump, and reuptake 2 into the vesicle by VMAT pump. So that is the whole story. You have to compare it. I have told you 3 poisons or 3 toxins last time here also, and here I have told you 5 toxins today. So last time कौन से 3 toxins मैंने बताए थे? Hemicolinium, tetanus and Vasamicol. If you have remembered, those who have attended my last lecture, they know the mechanism of action of these 3 toxins. And here today I have told you the name of the 5 toxins: metyrosine, carbidopa, guanethidine, cocaine, and the last one was beryllium, and you know what last toxin I have told you. So you have to compare which step is inhibited. So here hemicolinium is compared with methyl dopa. So likewise, you have to compare the toxins also. So that was the whole story. Give me a thumbs up. I tried my best. I tried my best. So in cholinergic system, the receptors were muscarinic and nicotinic. There are 3 muscarinic: M1, M2, and M3. M1 and 2 nicotinic, NM and NN. So total 5 receptors are there in cholinergic system. So M1, M2, M3, you already know. This was our master chart for the last 2 chapters. This is NM and NN. In this chapter, adrenergic, you have alpha and beta. So you have 2 alpha and 3 beta. You can see here 2 alpha, alpha 1, alpha 2, and 3 beta, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. You have to learn the name of the organs on which each of these is present. You have to learn it. If you want to understand the entire chapter in detail with a simplicity, the adrenergic and anti-adrenergic drugs, in adrenergic and anti-adrenergic drugs, I will teach you 4 chapters actually. Adrenergic drugs, I will teach you alpha agonist and beta agonist. In anti-adrenergic drugs, I will teach you alpha blockers and beta blockers. So I will teach you 4 chapters here. So for that, you have to understand which receptor is present on which organ. So there are 2 type of alpha receptors, alpha 1, alpha 2, and 3 type of beta, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. So these will stimulate alpha 1, alpha 2. These will stimulate beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. These will block alpha 1 and alpha 2. These will block beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. So chapters, all 4 chapters will become highly simplified if you understood which receptor on which organ which receptor is present. So you have to learn this table. So alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. Let me simplify it more. So this is like this. So alpha are of 2 type, alpha 1, alpha 2. Beta are of 3 type, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. Okay, so let me move ahead. Give me a thumbs up if you got this concept. Give me a thumbs up. Let me start with alpha. Alpha 1 and alpha 2. Give me a thumbs up. अभी तक जनरल ही चल रहा है, मैंने चैप्टर स्टार्ट ही नहीं किया है. So जनरल समझेगा तभी तो डिटेल में समझेगा ना. So yes. Dikshita, okay, I got your thumbs up. Very good. I hope you are learning it. So alpha 1 is present on these organs. You have to learn the name of the organs. It is present in vascular smooth muscles. All the vascular smooth muscles, especially the 3 organs we always take: GIT, urinary bladder, and the lungs. So vascular smooth muscles, genitourinary smooth muscles, intestinal smooth muscles, ये सारे smooth muscles इसमें आ गए. उसके अलावा sphincters, liver, and iris of the eye. Alpha 2 is present in male sex organ, that is penis. Which one among the cholinergic receptors, especially M1, M2, M3 में से कौन सा was present on male sex organ? M1 के M2 के M3? I am asking to you. You have to give me the answer. M1 की M2 की M3 इन तीनों में से कौन सा था वहां पे? Those who have watched my last lectures also, they are knowing the answer. कोलिनर्जिक में से मेल सेक्स ऑर्गन पे कौन सा प्रेजेंट था विच वाज कॉजिंग इरेक्शन? वहां पे इरेक्शन हो रहा था, यहाँ पे इजैक्यूलेशन होगा. यस, यू ऑल आर राइट. इट इज M3. वहां पे M3 यहाँ के अल्फा 2 के इक्विवेलेंट है. यू कैन सी M3 वहां का, यहाँ पे अल्फा 2 है. सो मेल सेक्स ऑर्गन दैट इज पेनिस कंटेन्स M3 एंड अल्फा 2. डन. So that is the thing. और उसके अलावा these are not important, you can skip these ones. So that is alpha 1, alpha 2. Let me start with beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. Beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. So beta 1 present only on one organ, heart. Which one was present there in heart? M1 के M2 के M3. मैंने एक निमोनिक भी बताया था. I have told you one mnemonic also. पहले खाओ फिर दिल लगाओ, बाकी सब काम बाद में. तो फिर दिल लगाओ मतलब M2. So M1, M2, M3. So yes, it is M2. It is M2. So Fatima is saying M3 for the last one. I guess it is M2 here. So can I say beta 1 is equal to M2? Beta 1 is equivalent to M2. So on heart, let me draw a diagram of heart for you. So you can see this is the heart. These are the 4 chambers of the heart. This is the right side. This is the left side. Always I am interested in left side wall. This is the wall of the left side, ventricular wall. On the ventricular wall, 2 types of receptors are present. Among cholinergic receptors, it is M2, which is present over here. So M2 is present, and among adrenergic receptors, it is beta 1. It is beta 1. So M2 and beta 1 is present on heart. Give me a thumbs up. I am trying my best. So this is the scenario for heart. On heart, cholinergic में से M2 present है और adrenergic में से beta 1 present है. So beta 1 here is equivalent to M2 there for heart. So it is present only on heart. और तीनों चीजें इंक्रीज करेगा. वहां पे तीनों चीजें डिक्रीज हो रही थी, यहाँ पे तीनों चीजें बढ़ेगी. So beta 1 is present only on 2 organs. Number 1 heart, number 2 kidney. Kidney के JJ cells, juxtaglomerular cells, and it causes renin secretion. So B1, beta 1, again I am summarizing myself. Beta 1 is presenting on 2 organs. Let me draw 2 organs. Number 1 heart and number 2 kidney. In heart, it increases the rate, it increases the force, it increases the velocity of conduction. So it is positive inotropic, positive chronotropic, positive dronotropic. Ino, chromo, dromo, तीनों positive हैं. And in kidney, it is present over JJ cells. So it will cause secretion of renin. So it will increase renin. It will increase the heart. It will increase the blood pressure. It will increase the renin secretion. Done. So give me a thumbs up. ये beta 1 की story complete हुई. So beta 1 के बाद beta 2 पे आ जाओ. Beta 2 पे आ जाओ. Beta 2 is present on 3 organs: skeletal muscles and smooth muscles. Smooth muscles and skeletal muscles apart with liver. Beta 3 present only on adipose tissue. So let me summarize it. Alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. Okay, let me summarize it. I will try. Okay, give me a, okay. So this is alpha, this is beta. So alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. Alpha 1, alpha 2, you have to learn it. There is no escape. ये बिना किए तुम बोलो सीधे चैप्टर कर लेंगे हम, अल्फा बीटा एगोनिस्ट और अल्फा बीटा ब्लॉकर पढ़ लेंगे, तो it is not possible. So you have to learn it. There is no escape. Let me finish beta first. Beta 1 is present only on two organs, heart and kidney. Very important, heart and kidney. In heart it is positive inotropic, positive chronotropic, positive dromotropic. In kidney it secretes renin. Beta 3 is present only on one organ, adipose tissue. Adipose tissue, that is fat. Beta 3 present. Beta 2 is present on smooth muscles. On smooth muscles, all smooth muscles, especially GIT, urinary bladder, and the lungs, smooth muscles. Along with it, beta 2 is present on the liver also. From alpha 1 and alpha 2 का एक ही important है तो बहुत सारे, only one is important, male sex organ, that is penis. So in penis it causes ejaculation, not erection. Erection is caused by M3 and ejaculation is caused by alpha 2. And alpha 1 is present on 4-5 organs. The most important is smooth muscles, liver, and iris of the eye. Eye के iris में alpha 1 है. Give me a thumbs up. I tried my best. So this is the table which we have to learn. Now what I will do, I will combine alpha 1 and alpha 2 together. And I will combine beta 1, beta 2, beta 3 together and make this table. So can you see this table? This table is from KDT. This is going to be our master table for the next 4 chapters. So you can see alpha are combined this side and all beta are combined this side. So we have 2 alpha 1 and alpha 2. Both of them I have combined. And we have 3 beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3. I have combined this side. In the bracket I have written everywhere. So whether it is beta 1 or beta 2 or beta 3, in the bracket I have written. But I have combined the table. And here also in the bracket I have mentioned whether it is alpha 1 or alpha 2 or both of them. So in the bracket I have mentioned. So you should know both tables. You should know this table, individual alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3 also. And by you should know combination table also. Alpha 1, alpha 2 combine करके एक alpha कर दो. Beta 1, beta 2, beta 3 combine करके एक beta कर दो. And make this master table. This is the master table for next 4 chapters. I will teach you alpha agonist and beta agonist. I will teach you alpha blocker and beta blocker. I will teach you these 4 chapters in this table only. If I talk about alpha agonist, so in this side, I will mark all the things which do the same actions as alpha receptors are doing. So alpha agonist will do all these actions. This is the given here. I will read it one by one. Alpha blocker will do opposite of it. So the same side alpha blocker. So alpha agonist and alpha blocker. Alpha agonist do the same things. Alpha blocker do opposite of it. If you know this table, 2 chapters are over. 2 chapters are over. I will tell you the classification. Actions is in front of you. Alpha agonist ये सब करेंगे. Alpha blocker इनका उल्टा करेंगे. Done? इनका उल्टा करेंगे. Coming on beta agonist and beta receptor. तो beta agonist ये सब करेंगे, which is marked by purple. So beta agonist ऐसा action करेंगे और beta blocker इसका opposite करेंगे. So the 4 chapters will become a fun for you if you learn this table. So ultimately you should come to know the importance of this table. If you know this table, the importance of this table, then the 4 chapters will be like mathematics for you. Addition, subtraction, it will be like fun. Learn करने की जरूरत नहीं है, सब कुछ visible है. लेकिन table on the tip of your tongue होना चाहिए. ये table समझ में आना चाहिए. So I will take 16 organs one by one. The first organ, the most difficult one I will discuss is blood vessels. Then heart, then lung, then eyes, then GIT, then bladder, then uterus, then spleen, then pancreas, then liver, then kidney, then male sex organ penis, then CNS. I will discuss one by one. All organs I will discuss from alpha side also, and all organs I will discuss from beta side also. Then we will take the 4 chapters together. Alpha agonist, beta agonist, alpha blocker, beta blocker. Give me a thumbs up. That is way of teaching. Matlab I am teaching in this way, you know. So it will become simplified for you. Most of the students always have confusion. कौन सा action alpha है, कौन सा beta है, कौन सा alpha agonist है, alpha blocker है, beta agonist है, beta blocker है. They always have many confusions in their mind. If you learn this table now, you will not have even a single confusion. So next 4 chapters are going to be done in this one table. So this table is the most important table. So इसको हम धीरे धीरे one by one organ लेके पहले पूरा समझेंगे. उसके बाद chapters करना तो is a fun for you. It will be a fun for you. वो फटाफट हो जाएंगे. Classification learn कर लोगे. उसके बाद क्या बचता है? Action. इसमें से the things which are good from here you will take it in uses. The things which are bad you will take in adverse effect. Here also the things which are good you will take in uses, the things which are bad you will take in adverse effect. So uses and adverse effect will also be derived from this table only. If you understand this table, actions, uses, adverse effects, everything will be done. I will give you mnemonics also. As you know my way of teaching, इसी में जो अच्छी चीजें होंगी मैं रेड से मार्क कराऊंगी, उसको uses बोल दूंगी. जो बुरी चीजें होंगी which are bad things, I will mark it with blue and I will label it as side effects. And in the end I will compare कि अल्फा के uses देखो, side effect देखो, बीटा के uses देखो, side effect देखो, agonist के भी, antagonist के भी. So that is how you have to do it. So अब कुछ बचता नहीं है ज्यादा पढ़ाने के लिए सिवाय इस टेबल के. Have you got it? Give me a thumbs up again. So give me a thumbs up again. Done? Okay, so let me start. Okay, thanks Fatima for your compliment. Complement, and here I'm starting. Okay, so I'm starting with the first chapter, adrenergic drugs first. Then I will come on anti-adrenergic. In adrenergic, I will teach you alpha agonist and beta agonist. I have to teach you two things here, alpha and beta agonist. So this is the table which we have to study. So let me start. Okay, do you want to do some polls, some questions? Do you want to do some polls or questions? Let me skip it. Time is limited, no? That's why I'm skipping it. Okay. I'm starting with adrenergic drugs. The first chapter, adrenergic drugs. So here is an overview. What, not only this chapter, every chapter in pharma, any chapter in pharmacology, you should study in this heading. So you should make a comparative table. So classification of that class. So adrenergic drugs का सबसे पहले तो classification बताओ. Then mechanism of action of that particular class. Then actions, uses, contraindication and side effect. So make a table, make a big copy, a notebook or a big sheet in which you compare various drugs of the pharmacology, especially of one system together. So here, muscarinic drugs, anti-muscarinic drugs, that is cholinergic drugs, anticholinergic drugs, alpha agonist, beta agonist, alpha blocker, beta blocker, make 6 or 7 columns and compare all of them in these headings. So you should know classification of each drugs, mechanism. Many questions can be cracked on simply based on classification of the drugs. So many questions can be cracked on that concept only. So let me tell you the classification first. Let me start with the first heading, that is classification of adrenergic drugs. So classification, here is the classification in front of you. The classification is based on different things. Here the classification is based on uses or actions, you can say. The classification is based on uses or actions of adrenergic drugs. So pressure agents are the drugs which increases blood pressure. Pressure se aaya pressure agents. So these all are pressure agents. Cardiac stimulants are the drugs which increases rate, which increases force, which increases velocity of the heart. So positive inotropic, positive chronotropic, positive dromotropic. Bronchodilators are the drugs which acts on lungs and dilates the lungs, so used in asthma. CNS stimulants are the drugs which stimulates the CNS, and these are used in anti sleeping, you know, stimulation के लिए, brain के stimulation के लिए, जब sleepy feel कर रहा है patient, तो we can give these drugs. Done. Nasal decongestants are the drugs which are used in the form of the drops. We put the drops inside our nose to open the nose. So whenever we feel nasal blockage, these drugs are used. Uterine relaxants are the drugs which relaxes the uterus in the females. So this is given only in females in case of abortions, threatened abortion. If we think the female can have abortion due to the contraction of the uterus, we want to relax the uterus over the whole pregnancy. So we will give these drugs to them. And anorectics are the drugs which will act on CNS and they will depress the appetite center in the brain. So these patients will have less appetite because the appetite center in the brain is depressed, so they will not feel hungry at all. So they will eat less. Since they will eat less, they will become slim. So anorectic are the drugs which loses weight. So कैसे lose weight? By this mechanism. In the brain, they will suppress the appetite center, so they will feel less hunger, they will eat less, so they will become slim, they will lose weight. So it is usually used by the obese patient. So the classification is based. First learn the basis of the classification. अभी मैंने drugs का तो नाम ही नहीं लिया, एक भी drug मैंने नहीं पढ़ी. अभी तो मैंने classification का basis बताया है आपको. Basis of classification is uses of the drug. So how many types of drugs we can make uses of it? So by these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By these 7 ways we can use these drugs. Some drugs are used to increase the blood pressure. Some are used to stimulate the heart. When there is a heart failure is there, and when MI is there, you know, bradycardia is there, we want to increase the rate, force and velocity, so cardiac stimulants are used. Some are used in asthma as a bronchodilator. Some are used in nasal decongestion. Nasal congestion में nasal decongestion करने के लिए. Some are used in sleepy condition for stimulating the brain. Some are used by obese person to lose weight. Some of them are used by threatened abortion by the female to continue their pregnancy. So these are the uses. Now you have to learn the name of the individual drugs in particular category. So category by category we will take. Have you understood? Give me a thumbs up. Again, everyone give me a thumbs up. Those who can listen me. Dikshita, Fatima, Saurav, have you got it? Have you got it? Give me a thumbs up. So what are pressure agents? Tell me, which increases the blood pressure. So it is noradrenaline. Noradrenaline natural तो होता ही है. It is artificial noradrenaline. It is available artificial also. Natural तो all sympathetic nerve endings have noradrenaline inside it. We have studied also how it is synthesized inside the body, how it is stored, how it is released, how its action is terminated. वो natural था, ये artificial. So artificial noradrenaline, also known as norepinephrine. So adrenaline और epinephrine एक ही चीज है. It is available in the market. Ephedrine, dopamine, phenylephrine, methoxamine, and methamphetamine. So these are the drugs for increasing blood pressure. These are used in emergency in case of shock. When you want to increase blood pressure immediately, you can use these drugs. Cardiac stimulants, again drugs which are used in MI. So again emergency drugs. Adrenaline also known as epinephrine, isoprenaline and dobutamine. I will teach you these drugs in detail. Done. Bronchodilators used in asthma. You know, you have seen the pumps of asthma. The pumps of the asthma contains these drugs. So read the composition always. So it is isoprenaline, salbutamol, terbutaline, salmeterol, formoterol, bambuterol. So these are the drugs used in asthma. Asthma. Have you used nasal drops? Actually, I use. My nose get congested, especially when I sleep in the night. So I have breathing problems. So what I do, I take nasal drops. I put one drop in each of my nasal cavity. So decongestion takes place. So have you read the composition? Always read the composition. It contains two main drugs. So it is xylometazoline or oxymetazoline. Xylometazoline, oxymetazoline, यही दो main होते हैं. So many names से ये nasal drops available होते हैं market में. It is available. CNS stimulants. It is amphetamine. Amphetamine से ही बना dexamphetamine. उसी से बना methamphetamine. So amphetamine is the main drug. उसी से dexamphetamine, methamphetamine. Amphetamine is the main drug which is used as a CNS stimulant. So any patient feeling sleepy like, you can give these drugs as a CNS stimulant to them containing amphetamine. Anorectics are used by mote people, obese people who want to lose weight. So weight lose करने के लिए they should eat less. But if they are feeling hungry, how they will eat less? They will feel hungry, they will eat. So these drugs will go in the CNS. They will depress the appetite center in them. So they will not feel hungry. They will eat less and they will become slim. So what are the drugs? Again, amphetamine is the drug here. Fenfluramine, dexfenfluramine and sibutramine. These are the drugs. So these are the drugs used by obese people. And the females which have continuous many abortions in the past, a history of multiple abortions in the past, and this time she conceived. Now the pregnancy is very precious and there is a threatened abortion. We do not want to lose this pregnancy. So in the entire 9 months of gestational period, I will give some uterine relaxant to the female so that her uterus is relaxed all the time. It is not contracted and chances of abortion are reduced. So ritodrin is the drug, isosuprine is the drug, salbutamol is the drug, and terbutaline is the drug. Salbutamol और terbutaline यहाँ पे भी था. So there is a overlap. थोड़ा बहुत overlap तो हर जगह है. Give me a thumbs up. So these are the main categories of the drugs. These are the main categories of the drugs. Done? Okay. Okay. So let me move ahead. So okay. So some of them are alpha agonist, some of them are beta agonist, some of them are both. You will ask मैम इनमें से alpha agonist कौन है, beta कौन है और both कौन है, हमें कैसे पता चलेगा? Once I will teach you this table ना, this table में से मैं बताऊंगी ना कौन सा action कौन करता है. So then you will come to know which of them are alpha agonist, which of them are beta agonist, which of them are both. So first you have to understand this table, but I am not starting this table now. I will start this table tomorrow, and there is a big, बहुत सारा है आगे पढ़ाने के लिए, but time is limited. My time is over. 1 hour is over. So I have to stop here. Let me announce my next chapter. Then you people can go. Just give me 1 minute. Let me announce my next chapter.